Moving ahead with the next session on turning challenges into opportunities, tackling turnover while elevating service and profits by Mr. Gautam Chatterji, Associate Vice President, Strategic Programs, LTIMindtree. Can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Chatterji? Gautam Chatterji stands out as a transformative leader with a rich 30-year career marked by entrepreneurial zeal and a track record of fostering growth and innovation in esteemed organizations. His comprehensive expertise spans across various domains including delivery, practice management, pre-sales, HR digitization, transformation, and the integration of IT service firms. He has successfully managed large-scale IT transformations for power utilities, spearheaded major engineering projects in the power and manufacturing sectors, and has enriched his knowledge through a tenure in a startup environment. Renowned for his strategic acumen, Gautam has a history of cultivating new practices, scaling enterprises, and guiding the next generation leaders. Over to you, sir.
All. And thank you for inviting me over here. So the topic is itself challenging. And when I was hearing the opening, session, talked of AI. So let me start off without delving into the topic. This 2023 World Cup between India and Australia. What happened was there was a toss which happened, and Australia, selected to bowl first. Now, they took all the information from AI. So AI had given them all feedback with respect to the pitch conditions, with respect to the weather, with respect to the history of that, ground, with respect to the opponent strength, and AI predicted that they would, if Australia would win the toss, they should bat first because of the pitch prediction, because of the various inputs which had been given to AI. But you know what? Australia did exactly the opposite. They bowled first. And they won the match. And they won the match convincingly. So when you were talking about, the intervention part of it, so AI would give you all the direction. It is the human intuition and the human mind which will win you matches and which will make you win the war. Now let's go to the other dimension, and I will bring out a totally different dimension to challenges into opportunities. And we all know that there was the Kargil war, right? And which happened, and India won the war. There were intruders from the other side into our country. But look at the challenges at that point of time. The challenges were very unique for this kind of a war. First challenge was that there was a treaty between the two countries. Our Prime Minister traveled. There was some kind of friendship which was growing up in May, and in October this happened. In March and in May, this happened. So the capability of the enemy was unknown because it was at a kind of a height. The warfare was, on the hills, on the rough terrains. The weather was very rough. And what they did was they did a very strategic move. They came in and occupied the Kargil heights just to cut off the highway between Srinagar and Leh. And then they were looking on the highway from the top. So any supply line going from Srinagar to Leh would be, hit at. And if the supply lines to Leh are stopped, then the supply lines will not reach Siachen. So then they would conquer, the enemy would have strong grounds to go and conquer Siachen. So that was the ultimate motive of the war. Look at the challenge. The challenge is they had occupied a height, which is overseeing the only highway connecting the two strategic locations in India. And then, of course, the challenge of the rough weather and the terrain of there, they occupied heights, the peaks which were Tololing, which was, 16,000 kind of feet higher than that of the base level. And the experience of this high altitude war, because they were at the strategic position, movement was not possible during the daytime because they would easily observe. So movement would only have to happen during the night time, okay? And when there was no moon. So look, the challenge is growing up. First of all, the heights. We don't know how many people are there in those heights, how they have been strategically placed. Second thing is the highway itself is being monitored. Third is the movement has to happen on this heavy terrain. And there you have to climb up those rocky mountains, which is heights which is unimaginable. Right? The fourth part is when the Air Force sent in some, MiG-21s in that region to find out, the technology capability was not there to go to that altitude and view and zoom in and to find out the exact location of the enemy. Okay? So this was also another challenge at that point of time. And when India asked for satellite vision from the US denied that, saying that, it would mean that they are intervening in this entire process of the war. So there was no viewpoint as to the strength of the enemy. We did not have the experience and the capability to fight this kind of a war in this kind of a rocky terrain. And the technology was not with us to understand that. And then there was also a pressure that if the enemy has intruded in our territory, let us intrude back in their territory and, capture. So a kind of a reckless situation was there, and that was a challenge. Now, how this was an opportunity, right? The opportunity, see, when we look into these kind of situations, we think that we should have a large task force, a lot of people should be there. But you won't believe this Tololing Heights, it was captured by a group of 30 soldiers. 30 soldiers reached that peak of 16,000 feet and captured that. After a fierce battle, of course, it was captured. So the important part is whenever there are challenges and if you have to convert them into opportunities, you need to have the right team in place. That is very important because this is there in your corporate life as well. You're facing challenges, you are having, competition is coming and trying to eat away business. And you need to, see how you can have to elevate your services into profits. And that is where you need to have the right team. So a team of 30 was selected to capture Tololing Heights. And they did that. So selecting the right team, investing on the right team, keeping them, fit, and so that they can deliver at that moment is the key to any situation. Okay? And then, of course, there was the innovation which happened. See, we had the bomb, but the bomb was Indian. We did not have a laser-guided system. The laser-guiding system was, US. And the pod through which you would try to lock in the target, that was from Israel, okay? And the airplane was, the aircraft was that of, French aircraft. So what India did was that they brought in a team together to interface all these things together to see that whether it works, because this laser-guided system was different, and the pod through which the pilot would see and lock the target was different. So this simulation exercise was done by the Indian people. okay, with the help of, the Israeli counterparts. And it was tested in the Thar Desert. And then once the Mirage went in with the laser system, they were able to locate the enemy points from a distance, and they were outside the radar of their missiles. Okay, so this is how innovation happens. So innovation always happens during challenging times, right? So the advent of AI, which has come in, it has come in maybe because of the pandemic. This has come in during that time the innovation started happening, that how to do things more fast, remotely, and maybe there were people who were thinking about it, right? So that's how it is, in terms of this, turning challenges into opportunities is where the going gets tough, the tough gets going at the end of the day, right? And that's how, we won the war, and finally we went and then war was won at a very rapid pace. But I thought to bring this out to show you a different perspective of how we can all overcome such challenges with grit, with determination, and with a focus approach in our day-to-day lives as well. Okay, now let's look at the next normal. The next normal, of course, is very interesting. Because of this advent of technology, the plethora of technology which is coming in, okay, today maybe we are all here to talk, and be in person. Maybe the BPO conference in another 10 years can be in outer space, So we will all go to outer space and we will all be there. And so the space technology is coming up so well. And today you may be going to Goa for a vacation on a weekend. You may just go to outer space, have a 2-day trip, and then come back and then join office the next day, right? So that's the kind of innovation which is happening. Today the delivery boys are through Zomato, through Swiggy. Maybe some days later you will have the drones coming in and delivering the boxes through your window. So those kind of innovations are definitely coming in. And today, suppose you are to go to the airport, you may take an air taxi to go. You don't have to take a cab. Ola, Uber will be a thing of the past. And if you go to a digital store, for example, just the moment you walk in, they will have the data, and he said, oh, he loves wearing a pink shirt. The entire mannequins will digitally change to the color you like. So that's the kind of changes which would come in the days to come, and it may seem surreal today, but this is going to happen because we never thought of robots doing operation in the operation theater a few years back, and we said that would not be possible, and today it is a reality. But why I am showing this is the next normal, not the new normal. New normal is in the past. The next normal is because these things are going to happen, and these things are happening rapidly. But who is going to make these things happen? It is the people. It is us. We are going to make it happen. So the people are the priorities in any industry. Yeah, of course, in the BPO industry as well. But at the same time, when we talk of these situations of the past, of the future, the ground reality is we are always hard-pressed for margins, we are hard-pressed for operational efficiency, we are looking for better end-user experience, business realignment is not happening. So these are some of the ground challenges which are there today in any industry. From the industry where you are working, you would be hearing it, in your boardrooms, with your colleagues, with your seniors. People are always hard-pressed to make these things more efficient, right? Now, let us look into the, competitive forces. The competitive forces are quite different in terms of with the changes which are happening with startups which have come in with such intensity. The threat of new entrants is there. Today you look into the way we are doing a digital payment. And for that, the industry is smart enough not to invest in any hardware, software, but it use the same gateways which were available. And few years back, we never thought that this would have been possible. Okay. So there is a kind of a pressure in every organization to improve on efficiency, to improve on productivity, to improve on better pricing, and to cut cost, right? And of course, the war in the Middle East as well as in Europe are pulling things down. So those are other factors, external factors which are there, which are also affecting business in some way or the other. Hopefully, things would become brighter. But again, the human capital is important over here, whether it is a new entrant or whether it is the substitutes which are coming in, who are doing it. It's the human beings who are doing it, right? So the theme is basically to modernize, to transform, and to innovate, right? We need to, and who will do that? It's the humans who are doing this, right? So that's how you have to convert the challenges into opportunities and elevate services for better profitability. And it is also a fact that if you have the right HR strategies, you are able to retain the people. So see, the people are the key. You just need a group of 30 people to reach the height of 16,000 feet. So it's the people who are the key. The protecting the bright people in the organization is the key. Retention strategies, of course, is a major talking point of all organizations, right? But the expectation from the people are different. The people are, employees are asking things in the various personas. They want to do things very fast. They want to do things quickly. They want to do things efficiently. The productivity of the agents are also being looked into. Customer wants simpler customer experience in terms of the overall journey of the customer life cycle. So then what is it that we are hearing? Well, we are hearing all good things, like there are people who are in the organization where things are happening. We would definitely do things for the client. But the three major components which are important is the operational efficiency, the customer experience, and the employee experience. So these three areas are the areas of great focus which needs to come in any organization, because operational efficiency will help you to cut down cost, customer experience will help you to retain customers, and employee experience will help you to help employees thrive in the organization, long term in the organization. And that's where employees would be able to create value. So we'll need to unburden our customers, we need to have focus on the business, we need to align and be agile. And the people first approach is the key. And on top of that, the digitization of the entire customer journey is important. And these will help in operational experience, customer experience, efficiency, customer experience, and employee experience to begin with, and help you to retain, grow the business and talent, and improve the productivity. But if you look into the kind of an employee experience part, the part is, the employees are customer focused, or employees are, focused on the efficiency part of it. So one has to enable the employees in the organization to move from the quadrant of customer focused and company focused to a balanced focused kind of an approach. And that's where the training, the engagement of the people would become key in terms of the overall and bringing in the overall effectiveness and efficiency of the people in the organization. Now, so what would be the digital strategies? In short, you need to have built in the digital intelligence in the organization. Digital intelligence is built with respect to cultivating a digital mindset. Digital mindset is more to do with understanding what are the technologies which are there, how do I adopt these technologies, how can I further improve and enhance these technologies and bring in an integrated system. And digital strategy framework is most important with respect to your employee life cycle journey, so that from the day one till the person retires or leaves the organization, he or she has a very smooth employee experience. And all this is possible with the help of data. So data insights are key in terms of predictive intelligence, in terms of prescriptive intelligence. These are key in terms of help, which will give you insights to take some advanced and quick decisions, which will strengthen and establish your future on a strong footing. Okay, and finally, listening is the most important habit. If you have to overcome challenges and convert them into opportunities, you need to be a good listener. We all need to be a good listener. And this is not, I am not saying it, it is the words of Satya Nadella. And thanks for listening today. You have taken the step ahead of listening to me today patiently. And you are on the path of great leadership. Thank you very much.
Beautiful insights. And I would like to call upon stage Mr. Venkatesh Devarajan, Senior Director Delivery, Capgemini, to do the honors.